The moment of history beckons. The anticipation is reaching a fever pitch. From Nigeria's capital city, Abuja, this is the NEDG-born coverage of the 2018 vice presidential debate. The candidates are intellectuals in their own right. Tonight, it will be a contest of wits. The battle for the vice presidential seat is under the spotlight, and a great chance for voters to compare the candidates side by side. The stage is now set for an intense debate. Critical issues will be brought to the table. If you thought it would be easy, think again. 5 candidates, 1 stage. Who will prevail? Brace up, everyone. We are live from Abuja, the capital of Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the NEDG-born Vice Presidential Debate 2018.
Hello and welcome to the 2018 Vice Presidential Debate, organized by Nigeria Elections Debate Group and the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria, supported by its partners, Civil Society Election Situation Room and ViCE. We are live in Abuja, the nation's capital. Tonight, 5 candidates selected through an impartial and transparent multi-layer survey and a number of selection criteria alongside an online poll. It's about 60 days to the 2019 presidential election in Nigeria. But before then, a debate is necessary to promote civil discourse and provide a platform for these candidates to articulate their positions on public policy, as well as intimating the people on their style of leadership and problem-solving abilities. Tonight, we will be engaging the vice presidential candidates whose personalities, when elected into office, amongst other things, is to advise the president and superintend the Economic Council. This debate is a simulcast, running on many platforms across the globe and on bond member stations. There are set rules and guidelines for the debate. The candidates are aware and have agreed to those guidelines. This 2.5-hour debate is divided into segments: fitness for office, economic policies and direction, governance, security and social development, as well as the economy. Before we get into the flow of the debate proper, let me invite to the stage the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Election Debates Group, Mr. Eddie Emesiri, for his opening address.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to the 2019 presidential elections debate put together by the Nigerian Elections Debate Group and the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria. I am Eddie Emesiri, the Executive Secretary of the group. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to this event. It is another history-making event in the politics of our nation. As we know, we're at a critical stage in our history where we're faced with a series of decisions, one of which is to elect a credible president that will lead this nation, which is the most populous nation in Africa, for 4 years. It is an opportunity to see how the tremendous opportunities will be brought up. Africa is looking up to this giant to push upward and forward. And the world is also waiting for us to excel. How we do that is now left to us. Tonight, we bring on stage those who are seeking to be vice president in a debate that will put to test the understanding and the abilities to act as president, lead the economic team, and assist the #1 person to steer the affairs of this great nation to greater 4 years. The selection of these 5 parties that will be represented here tonight is perhaps one of the most difficult tasks the debate board and the committee who sat on the selection committee have faced in years. But it is done carefully, fairly, and in the most credible manner using multi-layered system. It is scientific and a series of other globally accepted standards. The debate tonight is about issues, ones that will shape the future of this great nation in the years to come. I do hope as you watch tonight, from wherever you may be in the country today and around the world, in your minds, the love and passion for Nigeria will grow more. And you'll make the right decisions at the polls next year. On behalf of my colleagues, welcome to the 2019 presidential elections.
Let's also welcome the convener of the Civil Society Situation Room, an umbrella body for most of Nigeria's civil society organizations who are also supporters of this debate, Mr. Clement Nwankwo.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, welcome. We are delighted to be supporting this debate because we think it's important for citizens to understand those who are seeking their mandate, those who are seeking their vote. The importance of citizens being able to make a decision regarding who governs them is the ultimate goal of democracy. This country has practiced democracy since 1999. We demand increased democracy, which means that those who are seeking our mandate should only be able to govern us because they have earned our votes. And that's why we're especially delighted that this debate is happening this evening. It's an opportunity for citizens to understand those who are seeking their mandates, what it is they seek to do for the citizens, for the country, to lift us up from where we are to greater heights. This country has incredible potentials. We have incredible human resources, and we believe that those who are seeking to rule us, to govern this country, should be a manifestation of the deep levels of incredible resource, human resource that this country has. Nigerians are listening, and we're hoping that the vote of Nigerians only will be what determines who governs us. Thank you so much.
Let me state at this point that none of the candidates who are appearing here today or their party members have seen any of the questions we are going to be asking them. The audience here in this auditorium has also agreed to remain silent. No cheering, no jeering. That way, this debate will achieve its purpose. But the exception to that rule is now as I introduce the candidates in alphabetical order using their party acronyms. The candidate of the Allied Congress Party of Nigeria, ACPN, Ganiyu Galadima. The candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Yemi Oshibajo. The candidate of the Alliance for New Nigeria, ANN, Khadija Abdullahi Iya. the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Peter Obi. And the candidate of the Young Progressives Party, YPP, Umar Gesso. Now that we have the full complement of all the candidates, could we please rise for the national anthem? Thank you. This debate is streamed on all our online platforms. You can join the conversation on Twitter using the hashtag 2019debate. Hashtag 2019debate. All right. I've just a while ago been handed the questions. You can see the candidates sealed. None of you have seen them. None of your party members have seen any of these questions. So we shall proceed to open the envelope. And we shall begin the debate. First, we need each of the candidates to have an opening statement of 3 minutes each. And we begin with the candidate of the Allied Congress Party of Nigeria, ACPN. The 3 minutes begins now.
Fellow candidates, the moderator, distinguished audience, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I want to give glory to God for giving us the opportunity to be here today. And my sincere gratitude also goes to the NEDG for giving us the opportunity to speak to Nigerians. This is not the first opportunity of my party to face Nigerians in a presidential contest. In 2015, we participated equally in NDG debate for presidential candidates, even though then I was a presidential candidate. But between 2015 and now, I think we have recorded little or no improvement in governance. And the life of people is becoming the worse for it, making Nigeria to be tagged the capital of poverty in the world, which is very disheartening. So I want to say that we cannot continue to do the same thing the same way and be expecting different results. There's need for Nigerians to look at the candidates and their manifestos before they can cast their vote. Nigerians are the worse for it, And the GDP of the country is becoming lower and lower, becoming lower and lower. The bane of this is that unemployment is becoming higher and higher, and this is because of the wrong policy of the government. In 2015, what we were told by the APC was that the subsidy was a fraud. As it is today, the Nigerian government is subsidizing petroleum product, PMS, to the tune of 2 billion naira daily. It's so staggering. That is to say that we are subsidizing inefficiency. We are subsidizing the rich. And funds that are hitherto are supposed to go into development, into infrastructure, and to build other sectors of the economy are being frittered away. Is the reason why is the reason why in 2019?
Thank you very much. It's now the turn of the candidate of the Alliance for New Nigeria, AAN, Khadija Abdullahi Iyan.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, fellow candidates. My name is Khadija Abdullahi Iyan. I am a nation builder, a lawyer, and a social entrepreneur. I was born 44 years ago into the family of Elijah Audu Kwengila. I was born in Kaduna, grew up in Lagos, and came back to the north. I studied law from the University of Abuja and had my master's degree from the University of Jos. I gained my experiences from the legal practice, banking and finance, and media. I founded SI Magazine Limited, which is focused on humanitarian journalism and social development. Before SI Magazine in 2006, I founded an NGO called Beyond Mentors Community Care Initiative, which is devoted to women and children, promoting women empowerment policies, encouraging literacy at the grassroots, and cultivating the spirit of patriotism. I am passionate about women, particularly passionate about the plight of children. That's why most of my programs are focused on and targeted at the children and youth. I believe that we should all be concerned about the plight of children in Nigeria. And that is basically securing our future, the future of our children, our future. I am vying for the office of Vice President of Nigeria because I am concerned about every one of the over 2.1 million children in the Northeast and the IDP camps, which are scattered across Nigeria. I am also concerned about the 13 million children who are out of school. I am, as a wife and a mother of 7, I am committed to using every resource of authority at my disposal to ensure that every child, every young person, every mother, and every father gets the opportunities that they deserve in their pursuit of happiness. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for keeping within your time frame. The candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, your opening statement.
Thank you very much, and good evening, everyone. Good evening, fellow candidates. I'll just go straight to where we're at as a government, beginning with our journey in infrastructure. Today, we have begun perhaps one of the largest infrastructure projects in the history of our country. We're building railways between Lagos and Kano. That medium gauge railway, we'll expect that the first phase of it, that's the Lagos-Ibadan part of it, will be ready in January. At the same time, we've done the Alajawari. All we're left with is supplying feedstock to it. Kano-Maradi Rail, which is one of the oldest commercial routes in the country, that has just been given, and the KfW, the German bank, is sponsoring that railway, the Kano-Maradi Rail. We're also looking at the Lagos-Calabar Rail, and these are some of just the rail routes. In every state of Nigeria today, we have a major road project. Practically 16 years after the Lagos-Ibadan expressway was abandoned, we are dealing with that today, and we're building that Lagos-Ibadan road practically every day today. That's a major road out of the commercial nerve center of Nigeria. At the same time, agriculture. In the area of agriculture, barely 5 years ago, this country was importing $5 million of rice every single day. Today, we're down to 90% less. We're producing 90% of the rice that we consume, and we're importing only 2% of what we used to import. At the same time, we are doing there are other forms of produce. Sorghum, for example, is fast replacing barley. We're also in cashew and practically every other area. Agriculture in Nigeria today has certainly gone up in leaps and bounds. I hope we'll have time to talk about that later on. We have a social investment policy, possibly the largest ever in the history of our country. 500 billion is what we're investing in every cycle. Under the Empower scheme, we're employing 500,000 graduates, and the 500,000 graduates are in every single local government. At the same time, we have the homegrown school feeding program. 9.2 million children are fed every single day in 26 states of Nigeria. We have what is called the Government Empowerment and Enterprise Scheme, which is a microcredit loan. We have market money, which is for small businesses, and then we have the trader money, which is for the petty traders. So far, we've done about 1.4 million petty traders and market people in all. At the same time, under that same SIP, we have the conditional cash transfer scheme, taking at least 400,000 people so far out of poverty.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
As the turn of the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Peter Obi.
Mr. Vice President, fellow candidates, we now live in a country where we have the highest number of poor people in any nation, 87 million, and growing 6% every minute. Our country today has the highest number of out-of-school children in the world. Our HDI has dropped from 152 to 157. Our global competitive index has dropped from 124 to 127. In terrorism, we have moved from 7 to number 3, just behind Iran and Afghanistan. Our inequality have worsened. Our misery index have worsened. Our stress index, we are now 148 over 149. If you look at all this, it's hinged on 2 things from studies, and that is on education and unemployment. Our unemployment has moved from 24, as you know, to 40 today. The more you can invest in education, the better your economy. That shows we're not investing in education. In issue of unemployment, which has worsened, we have millions of our children out of school. And you can see from a study that there's a straight link between SMEs and growing your economy. And we're not supporting on SMEs very well. If you look at what China has been able to do with the SMEs, SME in China is contributing 60% of their GDP. And 60% of China GDP is 7.2 trillion, which is 18% of Nigerian GDP. They are contributing 60% of the employment. On urban employment, they are contributing 80%. 80% of urban unemployment in China is 480. 80% of that is for 380, which is twice Nigerian economy. China today, using the same SME, is guaranteeing 10 million jobs annually. This year alone, half of this year, China produced 7.2 million jobs, which is over 40% of their target. Within the same period, Nigeria lost 44 million jobs. So we need to re-gig this and have a better focus on how we can create jobs. As long as we don't create jobs and have the number of unemployed youths in their productive age that we have today, we're going to have crisis. That's why we have issue of insecurity, issue of instability. All sorts of things we're witnessing today is because we have not been able to create jobs that other countries are creating with effortless ease. And I know that Atiku Abubakar Obi presidency can produce jobs, which is the most critical
Thank you
to
very
do
much.
today.
Thank you. Candidate of the Young Progressives Party, YPP, Umar Gesser.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Thank you, Bon. Thank you, channels, and all the organizers of this wonderful and memorable event. My name is Umma Abdullahi Gezo from Kano State, daughter of a former senator in Kano State and a person that's grown and brought up into a political home. I have a passion for the girl-child education, and I spent the early years of my adulthood in the development of a common Nigerian. I was the pioneer member, founder of Falala Women Multipurpose Cooperative Society in Bauchi, which has impacted the lives of a lot of rural women in Bauchi. And I later on founded Youth Enlightenment Initiative of Nigeria, which up to now we are empowering young men and women in the country. I later on joined the political system, which I co-founded New Progressive Movement, a party that intends to create a kind of avenue where the youths can just run what they have politically. And now, as a member, as a running mate of Professor Kingsley Magalu, I want to use this opportunity to thank the organizers of this event. And my presidential candidate is a person that has a lot to offer to Nigeria, because if you compare him with the choices we have, we can see that Professor Kingsley Magalu is among the best because he has experience in all sectors of the economy, which is the main problem we're having today in Nigeria. And I, as Yeso, feels that I should join this race because I am a passionate Nigerian. I so much believe in Nigeria working again. And as a mother of three, as a wife, as a normal person, I've been to the lowest level of Nigerian standard of living. And I know how Nigerians are suffering. I know that there is not substantial thing from 1999 to date that a typical Nigerian will show today and say, yes, I am proud of my country. So to be candid, YPP is a party that is here to give a new thing. It's a party that's founded with a new ideology to bring in the paradigm shift, a bunch of kind of new set of politicians, new set of people, because we cannot deal with people that destroy our past to come and to expect them to come and improve our future tomorrow. So we are trying, we in our party, we have a lot of support from the youth, and because we all know that the youth are the future of tomorrow. So in my party, we so much believe in the new Nigeria, a Nigeria where every Nigerian will have an equal right and will have a story to tell tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all of you. But we'll go on a very short break, and when we return, we will be meeting our candidates on their ambitions. Stay with us.